Hello friends, let's start with our SQL interview questions part 1. In this video, we will cover the below mentioned topics. What is SQL, different type of statements supported by SQL, different type of SQL constraints, joins, transaction and their controls, ACID properties of transaction, and aggregate functions available in SQL. Let's start with our first question. What is SQL? SQL stands for Structured Query Language. So it's a query language which is used to manipulate relational databases such as Oracle, Sybase, Microsoft SQL Server, Access, Ingress, etc. So this is the point to note that it's a query language. It's not a database. This is the first thing we need to mention here. It's no SQL is not a database. It's just a query language to manipulate databases, relational databases basically. So the major commands used in SQL are select, update, delete and insert. Next question. What are different types of statements supported by SQL? So there are three types of statements: DDL, DML and DCL. DDL stands for data definition language. It is used to create the database structure such as tables. It includes three statements: create, alter and drop. DML stands for data manipulation language. These statements are used to manipulate the data in records. Commonly used DML statements are insert, update and delete. Select is also a partial DML statement used to select all or relevant records in the table. And DCL stands for data control language. These statements are used to set privileges such as grant, revoke, database access permission to the specific user. So there are three statements: DDL, which is related to the database structures, DML, which is related to the data manipulation of data, and DCL is related to our privileges. Next question is, what are different type of SQL constraints? The following constraints are commonly used in SQL: not null, unique, primary key, foreign key, check, default, and index. Let's go one by one. Not null, as the name suggests, it ensures that a column cannot have a null value. Unique constraint ensures that the values in a column are different and unique. And primary key is a combination of not null and unique, which uniquely identifies a row in a table. Then comes foreign key, which establishes a parent and child relationship. Then comes check. Check constraint ensures that values in a column satisfy a specific condition. Then comes default. Default is like whenever no value is specified in the column, then the default will replace that null. Then comes index. Index is used to create and retrieve data from the database very quickly. We will learn about index in detail in our later videos. What are different type of joins used in SQL? So there are four type of joins: inner join, left outer, right outer and full outer join. So here below in the figure you can see all four are depicted here. So it's very clear that inner join is something which is common in both the two tables, whereas left outer join is like everything from the left table and only the matching records from the right one. Or you can say alternatively that fully left table would be present there. And when I say right outer join, means everything from the right table and only the matching records from the left one. And at the last, full outer join is like both the tables would be there and the matching records will come only once. So this is the difference between all the joins. Next question is, what are transaction and their controls? So in simple words, we can say that a transaction means a group of SQL queries executed on a database record. So when I say transaction, you can understand it in a basic process of withdrawing money from our ATMs. So that is a complete transaction, that first you insert your ATM card and then the processing goes. There is a request that will go on the server that you want to withdraw such money, then it will be committed. If the money is not present, then the request will be rolled back. And like there is some set transaction and save point also, which is typically based on our databases only. That save point is a point up to which point we want to roll back. Like if I say that you are writing something in a word and you are writing around like 100 lines you have to write, and you have set points on every after every 20 lines. So whenever if you are on 34 number line and if something goes wrong, then the save point, last save point would be 20. If you are on 56 number and something went wrong, then what is the last save point? It will be 40. So 20, 40, 60 like this. So you can make your save points, and whenever there will be some rollback up to that point. Otherwise, like, what's the difference between rollback and save point? Like, if there is no save point and if you roll back, then everything will set it to the initial, like 0. But in save point you can make a point, okay, up to this point everything is good. If further going further, if anything wrong go everything anything goes wrong, then you have to come to this point. And other than that, like, I explained all the four. Commit is used to save all the changes made through the transaction. Rollback is used to roll back the transactions. All changes made by the transaction are reverted back and database remains as before, right? Set transaction sets the name of the transaction, that what name will be given to this transaction. And save point, as I told you, it is used to set the point where the transaction is to be rolled back. Next is, what are ACID properties of transaction? So ACID stands for, A stands for atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. These are the four properties which every transaction has to follow. So what is it? Atomicity is like, it ensures the completeness of all the transactions performed. It checks whether every transaction is completed successfully or not. It is not. If not, then the transaction is aborted at the failure point and the previous transaction is rolled back to its initial stage as the changes are undone. So atomicity, what it does, it will ensure that the transaction, whatever transaction we have performed, they are performed completely or not. If there is any abruptness in between, if there is any hindrance, then it will be rolled back to the last transaction. Next is consistency. So consistency ensures that all changes made through successful transactions are reflected properly on the database. So this is consistency. Like, if I am making some changes, if I am withdrawing money from the ATM, then it should be reflected to my database, to my account, that okay, this much amount has been deducted. And if I am adding some money, then it should be reflected. So this is consistency, that whatever transactions are performed, that should be reflected in the database. So this is consistency. Isolation ensures that all transactions are performed independently and changes made by one transaction are not reflected on others. So what does it mean? That all the parallel transactions that are taking place at one time, that should be in isolation, and no two transactions should be interdependent. So they should be independent. Next is durability. So durability ensures that the changes made in a database with committed transaction persist as it is even after a system failure. So I think it's very clear that durability is something that whatever, once the transaction has been made, then it should be final, it should be committed. There should not be any rollback once it is declared as committed. Okay, next question. How many aggregate functions are available in SQL? So basically there are 7 aggregate functions available in SQL. And what is aggregate functions first? Aggregate function determine and calculate values from multiple columns in a table and return a single value. Like the rest, all the functions which we have discussed earlier are for single line functions. So these aggregate functions will work on multiple columns and then will return a single value. So what are the functions? Average, count, max, min, sum, first and last. So I think it's very clear from the name only. Average will count the average. Average will give the average. Count will give the number of rows in the table. Max will give the largest value. Min will give the minimum value. Sum will give the sum of specified column values. First will give the first value. Last will give the last value. One thing we need to note is that okay, we will discuss that in later videos. Otherwise, you will get confused between two things. Okay, that's all for this video. And if you want to register for our mock interviews on SQL, then website and contact details are provided in the video description. Thanks for watching this video.